Sweet children, Robin has made you suffer a lot. And so God, the protector of devotees, has now come to remove your suffering. Even that should make you happy. Finally, this horrible suffering of Iron Age is over. Except, let go. Question, what are the two main signs of worthy children? Worthy children constantly follow the mother and father. So that's the Srimad part. And they claim their throne. They want to become worthy to inherit the throne of their mother and father. Right? He's talking about Mama and Baba. They remain engaged in making a lot of effort. They're seriously invested in effort making. They don't quit. They don't give up. They don't waste time. 2, they are very,
Honest with the father?
very honest with the father. Well, I show you guys daily what honest looks like. I explain it to you. I give you my own examples of the mistakes I've made. Then I realized I wasn't honest. So everyone has to become honest. So the reason God came to give truth. If the truth has been shared with you, then honesty is to follow and imbibe it. Those who have honest hearts constantly follow. There you go. If you don't have internal honesty for show externally is nothing. Let's presume some of us can become honest externally, but almost no one's honest internally. You don't have internal honesty, big consequence.
You can't have yoga with Baba?
You cannot stay in remembrance. You can't stay in remembrance. It's the consequence of being dishonest. You can't allow Baba to come into your mind, into your heart, because you're not honest, and you know that. So your guilt and your karma burden blocks Baba's purity from finding your mind. Song, no one is unique like the innocent Lord. Om Shanti. You sweetest children heard this song of the path of bhakti. Devotees do not understand the meaning of this song. You become the children of God. God is the protector of devotees. So first you have to seek refuge with him, even if you're in a bhakti devotional consciousness, because all Brahmins were, and many still are. Then experience that he's protecting you. Well, how will you experience that God is protecting you? He's keeping you safe from sorrow, suffering, Maya. So how does he do that? So by following Srimad, taking advice, giving your true chart. Because if you don't give your true chart, how will you're not telling the truth to the Father about your weaknesses, so you tell lies. Well, if you tell a lie, how can the Father help you with your lying problem? How can the Father help you with the weakness that you're lying about? So it's like totally worst thing to do is to hide the truth. You too are protectors of the devotees. You protect devotees. What calamities do devotees experience that make them call out to God to come and protect them? Devotees receive a lot of sorrow from Robin. Yeah, so if you're sad in the Iron Age, it's because you're still doing Robin Bhakti. The community of Robin is suffering so much from all their sorrow. They therefore remember the innocent Lord. That is the community of Robin, whereas this is the community of Ram. Devotees don't know who their protector is. Although they sing that the innocent Lord, Bholanath, is the protector, they don't know how he protects them. You children now understand that Shiv Baba, the innocent Lord, reforms that which has been spoiled. The world doesn't know who God is. If they knew God, they would also know who they are. Know God, yes, you would know who they are, and you would also know about the cycle, the beginning, middle, and end of his creation. So lots of people are aware of God. They even believe in God. They don't know God, otherwise they'd be aware of this Sudarshan Chakra. They neither know God nor anything about his creation. Therefore, such a human community would therefore be called devilish. Nope. Blind. On the other hand, there are all of you who have received divine vision. Your name is Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. The name written on the board is Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. It cannot just be Brahma Kumaris. Father of the people is Brahma. A father has both sons and daughters. Only Prajapita Brahma can have so many children. So you should understand that he is therefore an unlimited father. You also know that it is only the Father who creates Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, and that he is called the incorporeal one. He is the unlimited Father, capital F, the incorporeal one. You also know that the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, creates creation through Brahma. His entire creation, all human beings are in fact the dynasty of Shiva. So basically, you either got the sanskar of wanting to belong to God, you've recognized Shiva, done so many bursts of deep devotion of Shiva. And so when he comes and starts sharing knowledge, you go, yeah, yeah, that's the truth I was waiting for. That could only come from God. And then you just recognize and you change whatever you have to change to become, to sign up, to become part of it. Right? You also know that the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul creates creation through Brahma. His entire creation, all human beings are in fact the dynasty of Shiva. You have now become the children of Prajapita Brahma. So why is it the clan of Brahma and the dynasty of Shiva? Clan of Brahma applies to this time, and only the ones who recognize and make effort become part of the clan. So it's a much smaller number than all the people who will ultimately be in Satyuga and Treta Yuga. There's so many who are coming into Silver Age, they don't even know Baba yet. Baba says even scientists are needed. They will come. They may have received a little gyan or no gyan, but they will come. They're not part of the clan because they're not effort makers, as you were alluding to about this. The clan of Brahma is contained within the dynasty of Shiva. So you have to, means that the part you're not hearing is the dynasty of Shiva is all the souls, except that not all of Shiva's dynasty is coming into heaven, right? So some of his dynasty will rule in Copper Age, right? So they don't all rule in Golden and Silver Age. So the number of souls, which is a number-wise thing you're figuring out, is your number. The number-wise thing is being established by you based on how much effort you make, based on how much recognition you have, right? If you do it long enough, eventually you work through all your sanskaras and then you come to the conclusion, I'm worthy, I'm pure, therefore I deserve to go to the Sun Dynasty. Right? Very few will do that. You also know that the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, creates creation through Brahma. His entire creation, all human beings, are in fact the dynasty of Shiva. You have now become the children of Prajapita Brahma. This is a new creation. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul creates the creation through Prajapita Brahma. Therefore, you are called Brahma Kumaras and Kumaris. There are so many unlimited children that they must therefore definitely be claiming the unlimited inheritance. You children know that Shiv Baba has adopted you, Brahma Kumaras and Kumaris. For some souls of Shiva's dynasty, they claim the unlimited inheritance of heaven. Some souls claim the unlimited inheritance of peace, liberation, soul world. Shiv Baba says, you are my children. You souls were also incorporeal. However, knowledge is required in the corporeal form. You know that you belong to the original eternal deity religion. You just know that. You hear knowledge, you hear about the cycle, as soon as you hear about the cycle, and if you're from the Golden Age, you automatically say, yeah, I'm from there. Even though you haven't done no transformation. I just clicked. I said, I get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why? Because your sanskaras of happiness are so strong, they get triggered. And immediately you start to recognize who you are, even though you haven't fully changed yet. Just from your capacity of happiness. How would you know you have that capacity for happiness? You would look at your capacity to give, renounce, surrender, put others ahead of yourself in your Lokik life before you came into Gyan. Those are the signs of an elevated devotee who was a devotee of Shiva. You don't just come here to recognize Shiv Baba. You come here to realize the self, recognize the self. Like, remember I told you when I first came in, I was afraid of anger, afraid of my violence, afraid of this and that. I got to renounce all that. I never thought it could be useful, but it was terribly useful. Because once I figured out I was supposed to turn that violence on my vices, not on me, on my vices, the predator thing. Then I realized that was very useful. If I hadn't learned that in football, I wouldn't know how to fight. So you have to start off fighting. You just can't stay fighting. You ultimately have to conquer. So you don't want to be fighting 98% of your Brahman life. Because if 98% of your Brahman life is fighting, then 98% of it is in Silver Age. Right? And only 2% of it's going to be in
Golden Age.
So I guess you're Silver Aged. You know that Shiv Baba has adopted you, Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. Shiv Baba says, you are my children. Now, if you feel that, don't just hear the words. God came and he said, I recognize you. You are my children. You belong to me. If you just told yourself that before Amrit, you should fly. I'm not saying you never say the words, Baba. You say the words every day. Nothing happens. Why? You don't feel the meaning of you belong to me. God says you're mine. You belong to me. You worship me for 63 births. I have come. I'm your protector. Like there's just so many thoughts you could create. And then that feeling just makes you happy. I'm not alone. I don't have to do this alone. Right? I don't have to stay impure. I can change. I'm free. All these feelings come. That's how you create higher thoughts, and that leads to yoga eventually. You souls were also incorporeal. However, knowledge is required in the corporeal form. You know that you belong to the original eternal deity religion. Creation takes place here through Brahma. The birthday of Shiva is also celebrated here. He took birth in this impure land. So even that makes me happy. If I was Shiv Baba, I'm not selfless enough that I would come into this kind of world to save any of you. Save me. I wouldn't do it. But of course, he's God and he's immune to action. So he's not affected by that. I think that's really amazing that he would come for me. Right? No, does that make happy? He came for me. You know, it's like when somebody saves a fellow Marine on the battlefield. He's so happy. He stayed. He came back and saved me from, the enemy or whatever. Hmm?
You owe them your life.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's implied. What's this I, me, mine when somebody saved your life? When somebody gave you everything you ever owned? You got it from God. What are you having trouble with renouncing it because you've made it impure? The Father says this country, Bharat, was pure heaven. It is now called hell, an impure, dirty land. It has to become heaven again. It is in the intellects of you children that Shiv Baba is once again teaching you Raj Yoga and making you pure. They sing that purifier is God, protector of devotees. Only devotees call out. Only devotees suffer and they call out to God. Other people suffer and they don't call out to God. Although they are impure, they don't consider themselves to be impure. That's a problem. Denial. Whatever the weakness is, you're denying, you're seriously impure, but you're not admitting it. Because this is how Brahmins hypnotize themselves into thinking they can break Srimad, be impure, tell lies, and still call themselves effort maker or pure. Right? That's why you got to tell the truth. It's fundamentally important to tell the full truth to God every second of your day. And that's, of course, it's just another way that you can have yoga, right? Well, I did this, I got to tell Bubba the truth. Now, of course, you don't want to spend your whole day telling Bubba about all your mistakes, because when are you going to actually have time to tell Bubba about the great things you learned and transformed and applied? That's way more valuable. But as he said, dishonesty disconnects your yoga. So you got to get all that out of the way quickly so that you can actually spend the rest of the time having yoga. The golden age is called the pure world, and the iron age is called an impure world. Everything the Father tells you is
True.
Is right. There cannot be anything that is hundreds of thousands of years old. Period. That's it. So therefore, anything that they say is 100,000 years old is a lie. And if there's no evidence of them being hundreds of thousand years old, then likely they never existed, i.e. the dinosaurs. People are in extreme darkness. They think that the Iron Age is still in its infancy. Yeah, the dinosaurs exist, right? But
In our minds.
only in the mind of some. Just like UFOs, they exist, only in the mind of some. People are in extreme darkness. They think that the Iron Age is still in its infancy. You know that death is just ahead. It's only at the confluence age that you speak about darkness and light. You have now come into total light. It's one of the great feelings of confluence age. God is telling me the whole truth, nothing but the truth. If I have that, I'm safe. So you should feel safe all the time. You will not be able to speak about these things in the golden age. No knowledge in golden age. This knowledge won't remain there. The Father sits here at this time and explains to you that in the golden age, you belong to the Sun Dynasty clan, and then at the end, you became part of the Shudra Dynasty clan. You have now come once again and become part of the Brahmin clan. All are part of the Shiva dynasty, but depending on your part, your purity, you play your parts in different clans. So deity, warrior, merchant, and Shudra. You now once again become part of the Brahmin clan. You belong to the most elevated Brahmin clan. It's a great fortune to be part of such a small, elevated clan. You are the highest of all. This is the godly clan. When you come to the Father, he asks you, whom have you come to? You reply, to the Father. There are two fathers, the worldly one and the one from beyond this world. Whom have you come to? You reply, to the Father. This is the godly clan. When you come to the Father, he asks you, whom have you come to? Look, it says, the Father of all saligrams is Shiva alone. This knowledge continues to trickle into your intellects. So the saligrams is not everyone. There's only 330 million of them. We are the children of one Father from whom we claim our inheritance. The incorporeal one gives the inheritance to the corporeal one. Father himself says, I come and enter an ordinary body. So you're getting a number based on your inculcation of knowledge. At least if you have a ton of knowledge, you've got the basis for being very, very wealthy, high status, everything else. But just because you have a ton of knowledge does not mean you're going to have a high status, right? Because you got to inculcate it. The incorporeal one gives the inheritance to the corporeal one. The Father himself says, I come and enter an ordinary body. The Father now says, children, may you be soul conscious. Consider yourself to be souls. This body is perishable, whereas the soul is imperishable. It is a soul, not the body, that has taken
Birth.
84 births. The body is continually changed, and it also has different friends and relatives. Yeah, you'll be together in some other lifetime, no doubt, but you won't be in the same relationship. You may be in an opposite gender body. You'll be a mother at some point. You'll be a child. You'll be a uncle, a relative, a cousin. So if you understand that, can't you just give up this cycle of creating bondage after bondage with all these human beings? One life just belonged to Shiva. The body is continually changed. It also has different friends and relatives. Souls now have to receive their inheritance from the unlimited Father, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. You listen to this and then you imbibe it. So the reason you have to renounce, at least on this level of following purity and giving up all these desires and getting detached from all these people, at least in making that effort, you make it possible for yourself in the future to connect them to Baba. If you yourself still have so much attachment to these people, you will not be able to pull them out of that mess and bring them to Baba whenever it is they're going to be ready. You won't be able to do it. That's when you feel that. The sanskars are in you souls. Sanskars are always in souls. You wouldn't say that they are the sanskars of bodies. No, they are the sanskars of you, the souls, which are Tamil Pradhan. You now have to change them. So your Tamil Pradhan problem can be fixed. Are you putting your full effort into cooperating with the surgeon? Don't tell lies to the surgeon, otherwise he can't fix you. It is said the body is eternal. The body becomes as eternal as the kalpa tree. That just means it has a long lifespan. You know that the lifespan here is very short. When they are just sitting somewhere, some have untimely death at a young age. You are now conquering death. Death never comes to you here. Once you realize you're a soul, there is no more such thing as death. No one leaves this body in an untimely manner there. You know that this body has now become old. You have to renounce it and take a new one. These harmoniums, the body he's using as a harmonium, play at the time of leaving the body, as well as at the time of taking birth. There is no question of crying there. The example of the buzzing moth has been explained to you. So that's at the birth ceremony as well as the death ceremony. And they play harmoniums. But the harmonium really is symbolic of the body, right? So you're playing a harmonium to ease the letting go of someone, right? And then celebrating their entering into the body, you play the harmonium again. There's no question of crying there. That's the main point. Even at death is birth. You should be happy. The example of buzzing moth has been explained to you. You are Brahmins. The words Brahmins and Brahmaris sound familiar. You also do the same work that the buzzing moths do. It's a wonder. These examples of the buzzing moth, the tortoise, and the snake are all mentioned in the scriptures. Sannyasis also give these examples. You children are now being given all of this understanding by the Father. So the main point he wants you to understand about this passage of the Murli is you come and go, take a body, leave a body. Leave a body, take a body. That's all he wants you to mainly understand. Fundamental part of, I'm a soul. That is the path of devotion, whereas they remember the past. Everything that happens here is remembered later on. It's only at this time that the Father enters this one's body. This one, Brahma, is not called God. That would be, if you call Brahma God, that would be called blind faith. There are people who call Ram and Krishna God. No proof, doesn't match any of the other things that are in the scriptures. So it's just blind faith. Somebody said it, and they all believe it. They even say that Ram and Krishna are omnipresent. Some belong to the path of Radha, and others belong to the path of Krishna. Those who believe in Radha say they see Radha wherever they look. Those who believe in Krishna say they only see Krishna wherever they look. Those who believe in Ram only see Ram everywhere. They think that Ram is higher than Krishna because Ram has been portrayed in the silver age. And don't confuse God physically being present in something just because he asks you to see the purity in everything. Whereas Krishna has been portrayed in the copper age. There's so much ignorance. The Father's now explained to you children. There are so many Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris, and so there must definitely be an unlimited Father. Lowercase m. You can ask anyone if he has ever heard of the name Prajapita Brahma. The Father created a new creation of heaven. Is remember that Brahmins are created through Brahma. You cannot claim the grandfather's inheritance until you become
Brahmin.
Brahmins. You can't claim inheritance from Shiva until you first become a Brahmin. The mouth-born creation of Brahma. You unlimited children claim the unlimited inheritance from the Father alone. You truly did receive it. So you should be really happy. One, I'm a soul. And two, one time in the cycle, you can get the inheritance from Shiv Baba, the grandfather, is now, and I'm getting it. You truly were the residents of heaven. You have now become the residents of hell. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, is now creating the land of Vishnu, heaven, through Prajapita Brahma. This is so easy. Shiv Baba asks, did you have this knowledge earlier? This soul, Brahma says,
No.
I did not have this knowledge in me. I too was a worshiper of Vishnu. We who were worthy of worship have now become worshippers. So even Brahma Baba was doing deity worship. The main instrument was doing deity worship. I don't think I ever worshiped Vishnu, not to any serious extent. I don't think I would ever. I don't think I ever worshiped Brahma. Possibly worship Shankar a little bit. Okay? Baba has now come and is once again making us worshippers into worthy worship deities. You children should have this happiness inside you. Supreme Father, Supreme Soul has come and adopted you. Human beings adopt human beings. There are many people who adopt children when they don't have children of their own. Father knows that all of his children now belong to Ravan, and that this is why he has come once again and adopted you. So that's a rather ironic, a piece of knowledge. Shiv Baba isn't corporeal, so he can't give birth and have children of his own. So what does he do?
He adopts them.
He adopts them through Brahma, but basically, who were they before they recognized Brahma?
They were orphans.
Huh?
Orphans.
They were Ravan's children. So basically, Shiv Baba steals Ravan's children away to make him his own children. That's rather ironic. You can realize why Ravan is so mad at us. I'm your father. No, you're not. Shiv Baba's our father. I gave birth to you. No, you only kidnapped us from the copper age. Shiv Baba is the one who delivered us the golden age. You're not our father. Father knows that all his children now belong to Ravan. This is why he has come once again to adopt you. He adopts his children through Brahma. This adoption is so wonderful. Only you know that Shiv Baba has adopted you through Brahma. Shiv Baba says, I have adopted you children in order to give you your inheritance of unlimited happiness. You got to remember that point. Right? Every day in the confluence age is a day for you to claim your inheritance of limited happiness, not unlimited unhappiness. Okay? You got to stop being sad. You need to start being ecstatic. You need to start being intoxicated. You need to start being
Happy.
intoxicated, happy. This Brahma cannot give it to you. Prajapita Brahma is also a human being. Human beings cannot give this knowledge. Only the ocean of knowledge, incorporeal Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, sits here and gives this knowledge. Neither Brahma nor Vishnu can be called the ocean of knowledge, so they can't be God. No point worshiping them. Only the one Father is the ocean of knowledge and the purifier. People all around the world call out to him. In English, they say that he is the liberator. You have to be liberated from someone who causes you sorrow. No point liberating you from someone that's giving you happiness. So the illusion is you think people are giving you happiness. They're actually giving you sorrow. Why don't you get liberated? I want more sorrow. No, I don't want more sorrow. Well, apparently you do because you won't let go of the people who give you
Sorrow.
That means you won't detach your heart from them. You don't have to physically leave them. You just need to detach your heart from them. And then you'll actually, when you do your transformation, you'll have nothing but blessings for them because once you renounce your attachment, you can see the benefit of why they were in your life. If they weren't there, you wouldn't make the effort to become a conqueror of attachment. Father comes here and liberates you from Ravan. The kingdom of Ravan is also there, here. It is here that they burn Ravan. They burn him, and then they go and loot the golden Lanka. They don't know anything about who Ravan is or when he became your enemy. They just run off to do play the part of destroying Lanka, looting Lanka. Why would you steal anything from Ravan? By definition, it's really impure, right? So what did Ravan have? He had crazy amounts of wealth and he had technology. So Baba says, all that becomes mine for the kingdom. They don't know anything about who Ravan is or when he became your enemy. They believe that Ram Sita was abducted. They don't understand that all of us are Sitas, that we are trapped in Ravan's jail. Many sit and relate religious stories, but no one has this knowledge. Shiv Baba says, I, the resident of the faraway land, have come here into this foreign land. This impure world is old. It is the world of Ravan. People call out, oh, Baba, come. We have become impure. Father says, I have to come into this impure world to purify you because you're too weak due to impurity to come out of your impurity. Isn't that something loving that somebody would do that? think you'd spend your time feeling just appreciative and happy that he came. I have to enter the body of the one who had the number one pure body. The one who was beautiful has now become
ugly.
ugly. These are such wonderful matters. No one knows why Sri Krishna is called ugly and the beautiful one. Was only Sri Krishna bitten by the snake? There are no snakes in the golden age. Well, Hadra says, for my sake, become pure in this last birth, and you'll become masters of the pure world. So all of this rubbish is so deeply instilled in the intellects of Hindu devotees, they don't even know that it's wrong. They can't even understand why it's wrong. Then when we explain knowledge, just like in court, oh, that's the real meaning. Simply remember me and become pure. Remember Alpha and then Beta. The kingdom is yours. This is easy Raj Yoga, an easy kingdom. As soon as a child is born, he receives the right to the inheritance. Here too, you children know that because you belong to the Father, you now have a right to the kingdom of heaven. That should make you happy. You have to become Sattva-pradhan again. Father says from Sattva-pradhan you have to be. You have now become Tamo-pradhan. It takes a second to teach yoga and this knowledge. As soon as a child is born, it's fate that he's an heir. You now belong to the Father, and so the inheritance of the kingdom is yours. However, not everyone will become a king or a queen. This is Raj Yoga. All are needed. The king and queen, subjects, rich and poor people. All are needed. Kings, queens, subjects, rich and poor people. This is why in the path of bhakti, people turn the beads of the rosary of Rudra that has been created. So that is the truth. And that allows you to be detached. But as a teacher, you're here to facilitate the highest status possible for any soul. So you got to keep pushing the envelope, moving them forward, nudging them forward until they make it absolutely clear that
They don't want to go forward.
that's not me. I'm not meant to go forward. And then you just let go. But while you're the teacher, you're the surrogate mom, you have to do your best to get them to realize the highest inheritance possible, and then ultimately just accept them as they are. This is why in the path of devotion, people turn the beads of the rosary of Rudra that has been created. So that's why I always say to you, you don't want to convince me you can't do it. Because then I'll just say, okay. Right? This is why in the path of devotion, people turn the beads of the rosary of Rudra that has been created. You know that you have come here to study Raj Yoga. By following the mother and father, you will first become part of the sun and moon dynasties. Worthy children are those who follow the mother and father and claim their throne. You have to make a lot of effort. The father says, remember me. However, you don't do that. Mean instruction, remember me. However, you don't do that. You don't follow Srimad. There isn't the honesty inside of you that would allow you to remember him. You don't follow Srimad enough to be honest. Therefore, you can't remember me. You can intend to, you can try, but you won't be successful to have yoga. Because
You're not remembering him.
you're not honest enough to follow Srimad. If you had honesty in your hearts, he says that there isn't that honesty inside of you. If you had honesty in your hearts, you would then
Have yoga.
follow Srimad and continue to remember the Father, and it would be very easy. So when do you lose yoga? He always said, when you don't follow Srimad. When you've been dishonest enough to not follow Srimad. Because it takes a fair bit of dishonesty, arrogance to not do something that God himself told you to do, right? I don't care what your reason, you're feeling weak, whatever, influenced by whatever. But you only do that ultimately because of your own dishonesty and weakness. God said, do that. You should say, Hanji, jump. You should say, how high? No, you go, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that. Well, follow Srimad. It's going to take a while, right? You've been following Ravana for so long. How are you going to finally start to follow Srimad? Not so easy. Your old sanskars of Ravana are going to try to block you, right? Brahma cannot give you the inheritance of heaven. Grandchildren have a right to their grandfather's wealth. Yeah, my warrior sanskars get very ignited and charged when I find another Brahmin, give them chorus, extract them from the Iron Age. I get very happy. It's like I went into Ravan's kingdom, I kidnapped one of his kids, who obviously recognizes Baba, and then I stole him out from under his eyes and introduced him to the father. You can imagine how mad Ravan is at me. But how come I don't get killed by Ravan? If Shiv Baba is the protector of the devotees, well, then how much protection does he give someone who's
Child.
his instrument to go and rescue the rest of his children? He must be so happy when they find new children. Grandchildren have a right to their grandfather's wealth. Children inherit their father's income, and so they have a right to that inheritance. Here you are receiving the inheritance from Shiv Baba. Only from the Father do you receive the jewels of this knowledge. You Brahmins know that you will become deities. Who is Jagadamba, the world mother? I don't know. Well, then I guess she's never going to be your mother, and therefore you will never know Lakshmi. Like, it's consequence of all these things. The father explains that she too was a Brahmin. She was filled with this knowledge, and who will then become a princess. You will also become like that. Etcha? Your sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, father, Bhaktara. The spiritual father says namaste to his spiritual children. And
The spiritual children say to the spiritual father.
okay, so you will sing that with enthusiasm to the degree that you had the experience from this Murli of
Father teaching you. Being a
Father-
child.
of being that close to mother and father, lowercase, and
Child. And a
that you've
grandchild.
experienced the devotional protection of from God,
Being a grandchild of Shiva.
and therefore claim the inheritance from the grandfather directly. All these are points of intoxication. So the end of a Murli, you should view that way. Essence or dharma. Number one, change the tamo pradhan sanskaras that are in the soul with the power of yoga. Become sato pradhan. Number two, in order to claim your inheritance of the kingdom from the Father, be a constantly worthy child and follow the Father's shrimp. Remain honest with the truth. Don't tell lies. Don't tell fibs to the Father. Follow the mother and father, lowercase, completely. Okay? They were the first original effort makers. They're going to become Lakshmi Narayan. They probably have a thing or two they could teach you about effort making, about who God is. Continue to donate jewels of this knowledge. Blessing. May you constantly experience victory with your own transformation. May you constantly experience victory with your own transformation, become a true server. So what's it feel like being victorious? The same way you'll feel when you actually transform your sanskaras. Just as you have become constant yogis, similarly, become constantly
Victorious.
And you will then become
World servers.
true servers. How can you do service if you haven't conquered? Why? What's the purpose of giving them the knowledge? So they can conquer. This is because when victorious souls experience victory in every thought, at every step, many souls are automatically served when they see their transformation. Their eyes give the experience of spirituality. Right? Their behavior gives a vision of the Father's activities. And the jewel on their forehead shows a jewel of contentment. Special souls who serve with their Avyat image are therefore called true servers. Slogan: specialties and virtues are gifts from God. They're gifts from God, specialties and virtues. You got them all from Baba. Hence, all your success, all your wealth, all your attainment, everything came from God. So look at the bestower, not at the person. You get trapped in the name and form. God gave it to them. Avyat signal, with the practice of the soul conscious stage, make the atmosphere spiritual and everything will automatically work out.
Perfect.
Fine. Don't have to worry. Everything's okay. Yeah, but a mistake just happened. Yeah, but it'll be okay. I screwed up. Yeah, but don't worry, it'll be okay. Just don't do it a lot. Maybe stop. Everyone will be united in one direction and become constant. And then, because the atmosphere will be powerful, Maya will not come. In order to make the atmosphere powerful, make a program for remembrance and have classes and spiritual chit chat for your own progress. Have loving gatherings, have classes on Dharna, and you will receive success. Om Shanti. Isn't that lovely, Murli?